Okay, guys, I think we're ready to start. So please take your seat somewhere there so that you can see. First of all, my name is Irina. I'm a coordinator here, and I'm in charge of youth programming and outreach programming. That's why you're here. So we reached to each other with your Elena and decided that it's good for you to come here and to find more about our space and to meet our great volunteer who could share with you his experience. Okay, who we are. First of all, we are located at the embassy, as you can see, and we're really welcoming place for everybody, and we are a dynamic place. Here we do lots of programming, that's why we're so dynamic. And our unique programming is authentically American, and it's aimed at inspiring American-Russian relations, as you understand. Here you can see how many American spaces and corners are around the world. Previously, there were a lot of American centers in Russia, but now we are the only one. And everything we have in different cities, just some shelves, bookshelves aimed at American culture. Here you can see the visit of John Kerry to our space. What about our activities? We're always looking for partners and for volunteers who can help us in inspiring Russian-American relations. So you can see the topics we are covering. It's like, okay, international relations, STEAM, which stands for science, technology, engineering, art, and maths, innovation, cultural diversity, journalism and communication, business and entrepreneurship, civil society, lots of other stuff. And again, English language, of course. All our programs are aimed on advancing your English language speaking. Okay, there we go. What about our programming? What are the themes? Business entrepreneurship skills development, public speaking or debates clubs, English language courses, graphic design and stop motion animation, 3D design and printing, you saw our 3D printers, and electronics. We have lots of programming on electronics like Raspberry Pi, Arduino, and other stuff. What kind of formats we can suggest? Lots of them, like lectures and presentations, and informal discussions, and workshops and hands-on classes, and debates, and panel discussions, technology showcases, film showings, web conferences, exhibitions. We do lots of Skype calls with American universities, American schools, high schools. We invite high school students, students of universities to join the conversation between two. What are our facilities? By the way, if you would like to come here to volunteer and to do your own program, we can give you a comfortable, flexible venue, logical support, technologies. You can see we have lots of technology here, so you can use it all the time. Promotional support, we also do this stuff. But of course, we do not provide external equipment, expendable supplies, funding, and travel costs. We have in-house library here. Did you familiarize yourself with this? So you found it. It's a small one, but still. It's theme-related, like, again, STEAM, business entrepreneurship, books that shaped America, democracy, education, English language learning, graphic and design. We also have children's books, fiction books, and even books in Russian. But it's a small one. We also have electronic resources, which are vast. We have ebook library. You can sign up here. You can see on the red table there's a iPad. So everything is for free. So you can download anything you want for 3 weeks, or you can read it online. After 3 weeks, it will just disappear, because this is, you understand, like the book you check out in the library. We also have eLibrary USA, which is even much, much bigger. But you can use it only from this space. You can't have your own account. Again, our programs are not commercial, not profit, not partisan. We do not charge anybody for anything. We like alumni programs, people who went to America to study there. We inspire them to come here and to share their experience with everybody here. And of course, we welcome cross-cultural events and would like to strengthen our international relations. If you want to volunteer, you can find the proposal form on our website, amc.ru. This is just the link, but you can find it right there. Events at the American Center. Well, you can actually familiarize yourself with the rules of access in details, but now you understand that you should have your passport with you. You can have your cell phone with you if you are here in the Spoedy building, but you might not be able to bring your thumb drives. That's the only thing. But we also have other place which is we are going to have an event there tonight actually, which is in the consular waiting hall. That's the right entrance into the building, and there you can't take in your cell phones, your headphones, nothing. Well, there are frequently asked questions. You can just look through them. Where the event take place? Again, Spoedy building, that is here, and consular waiting hall, which is right entrance to the building. What kind of audience will my program attract if you are a volunteer here, you want to do something? Well, our audience is really diverse. From kids like 3-year-olds till, I don't know how old our people here who come here are. What language will the event be in? Do you provide interpretation? Sometimes we do provide interpretation, but these are for very big events which are held at the consular waiting hall. Actually, the language of your program can be either English or Russian. It's even like that. When is the best time to schedule my event? We will speak individually. Is the American Center open during the weekend? Well, sometimes it is open on Saturday, but you should take a look at it. Actually, we open Monday through Friday from 12 till the end of the last event. Well, thank you for listening to us. Here are all our contacts. You can take a look at it. You can take a screenshot of this if you want to. I'll give you just a second. And while you're doing this, I'd like to introduce our speaker today, Camille. He used to study in the US and has a very, very big experience in not only studying there, but working there. And now he works here for the American company, Ecolab. He will tell you more about himself while I'm...
Thank you. Now, before I begin, does everybody speak English well? If you guys have any questions, or if you begin to not understand me well, please raise your hand and don't hesitate to stop me. Hey, I don't understand. Please repeat again. Okay. And also, before I start, let me ask you, has anybody from this audience been to the United States before? No? Just raise your hand. How many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? Oh, good. I didn't expect so many people to be in the United States out of this audience, but good. Now, the other question, how many of you guys are considering coming to the United States and studying there? Okay, 1, 2, don't, okay. America is a great place to actually get a higher education, so I would definitely encourage everybody out of this audience to consider this opportunity. Now, this is what I did. So I'm hoping that most of you guys consider this, because the American Center provides pretty a big variety of opportunities for you to learn about higher education and also events like this. And why I came here is to share my experience and what I did in the United States and how I got there. And this is my story. The content, so I'll briefly tell you what I will be talking about. So before American University, what I did, and then how I got to the American University, how I got accepted, and then how what I did while I was studying there at Grand Valley State University, and what I did after graduation. So before I went to the United States to study, I was a student just like most of you guys. I was a student at the in Kazan. Now it's called Kazan Federal University. I was studying from 2003 up until 2008. Studied languages. I liked languages, and I studied English, Turkish, Chinese. While I was at school, in my second, after my second course, I went to a seasonal job to work on a J1 program. I don't know if you're familiar with this. It's also a good opportunity to go to America, learn the language, learn the culture, get to know how it's like to be in America, and meet a lot of friends. This is what I did in 2005, and then 2006 I did the same thing. I worked at the kitchen, I worked at the golf course. Boyne Mountain Resort is a resort up there in Michigan. Let me try to point right there. So right here. So if New York is here, I had to. I flew from Moscow to New York, and then I took a bus. My point here is, in 2005, for the first time I came to America. I took this bus tour from New York to Michigan, to where I was supposed to work. And on my way, I saw this beautiful campus. It was beautiful. It was called Grand Valley State University, where eventually I ended up studying. And this is how I got sort of interested very much in the American University that I was studying in, called Grand Valley State University. I will show you just. What year are you in? Are you who is from the first year, first course in university? Second course? Second, third?
Already third.
Third. Oh. So you are studying 4 or 5 years together? 4. Okay. So so to do the J1 program, I think you can do it after the second course and after the third course. Yeah.
Like that.
Correct. In order to do that, you have to be a full-time student in a Russian university. You're from the same university, right? From MSU? Okay. I think this qualifies you to be in that program for sure. The only the limit that you have is you shouldn't be in your last year. So in the 4th year, yeah, I think you can do that because you graduate pretty much. So maybe, I don't know, maybe you can even do it from after your first year. So first year, second year, and third year. Are you studying different majors? What major are you in? Major is like.
Well, we're studying we have regional studies.
Regional studies, okay.
We can say international relations.
International relations.
Yeah, but we're more specified in culture.
Culture. Okay. The same, everybody?
Yes.
Okay.
But it's different languages. So I, for example, learn English and Spanish. Well, the majority of us learn English here, but the second language is different.
Okay. Muy bien.
Yes.
Spanish will totally help you in America, yeah. Especially when you go down south, Florida, California.
Try till that's like.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, as I told you, why Grand Valley State University? It's a funny story, but it's true. my professor later on in my college said, "Why did you choose Grand Valley State University?" I said, "Oh, well, it's a beautiful campus." She said, "Hi, it's funny, but really." But that's how I chose it. So I was going from New York to my work for J1 program, and I saw this beautiful. I was going through this road, and right there is this beautiful campus, Grand Valley State University. I'm not trying to, advertise it or anything. Don't get me wrong. I figured out that it's a big school. It had the program that I was interested in was also international relations, which had a lot of, this university had a lot of resources and opportunities for international students. It had very good admissions office that I eventually went to. So while I was working there during my summer, I used this opportunity, and I went for a couple of days down to this university, to the admissions office, and I asked, can I learn more about your school? Can you tell me more? Can you show me what this campus is like? And they did. And I was so excited. I said, "Hey, I want to transfer from my college from Russia, and I want to do it now." To which they said, "No, don't do it. Finish your school in Russia, and then you can come to America and study afterwards. Because if I did that, which was after my second year, whatever courses I took by that time would not be accepted in the university. So I would have to redo all the courses, which is extra money, extra time, So if you consider, do not drop school and go to the U.S. Finish your school here and then go. Yeah, whatever you do. My story was the second bachelor's. I took second bachelor's, but master's degree also takes 2.5 years or so. So it took me 2 years to complete the school, because again they accepted my bachelor's courses that I took and transferred it. So far, any questions? Okay, we will do this. I will accept questions afterwards. Okay, Q&A. So English language school. Part of the prerequisites, or part of the things that you have to have, is to have the TOEFL score in order to get into school. Now, my TOEFL score wasn't that high, so instead of trying to do it on my own, I went to the ELS, English Language School, right on campus, where I was going to go, right on the Grand Valley State University campus. So I took this 4 months of intensive English language training. Why this school particularly is because, again, the Grand Valley State University, the school that I wanted to go to, and ELS was located right on campus. So not only did I learn English, but also I saw the campus. I met the American students. I met a lot of friends. I got to sort of familiarize myself with what campus is like, what the classrooms are like, and I even attended lots of live lectures by the professors. So even before I went to the university, before I got enrolled, I already knew what to expect. So these are my new friends that I met there. They're from Saudi Arabia, most of them. The guy from China. The lady from South Korea, from Libya, from all over the Koreans. They separated. They went together as a group all the time. It was funny. So in 2008, in winter 2008, I got enrolled in the Grand Valley State University. While you are a student at an American university, there are a lot of resources available. So by the by the time I got to my senior year, I collected so much knowledge that I wish somebody told me that that there are so many resources available out there. For people who come there, a lot of times they're not familiar with anything. They don't know what to do, what resources are available. Now, here I am telling you that there are a lot of resources. For instance, if you end up in a college, in an American college, make sure you use professors as your primary resource for be it part of your curriculum situation, issues, or if you have struggles with your research paper, they are always there for you to help you. Okay. Also, the library. Library is not just library, but it's a vast resource for also lectures, workshops, study groups, also part of the library. I remember our students from our class, from our group, we would, before the exam, we would do these study groups. I don't know if you do the same here. You would come together, encourage each other to study. Usually it's a couple of nights before the exam. And then the tutoring center, which is free. Actually, I was surprised that somebody would tutor me with whatever I struggle for free. So the university actually pays to the students if you are good at something, for example, with math or with chemistry or history or the languages. You can actually go there and apply and become a tutor. You could provide tutoring to the people who struggle with something, and you would get paid and they get educated, and vice versa. The writing center, this is really a big one. To write a research paper, most of the time, the content is very important, but also what is really important to get your grade, a high grade, is to make sure that you don't have grammatical mistakes. Make sure you have commas in the right place. Your sentences are not too long. Make it short. Keep it simple. Now, writing center is what helped me a lot of times there. So, but again, I got to know about these things in my maybe third year, or in my second year. I'm pretty sure every university has this kind of resources. Now, career development services. Before you graduate, also make sure that you attend at least a couple of their events. For instance, they have employee fairs where employers are coming on campus and telling you, presenting their job opportunities or internship opportunities, and you can use this as a start to network and maybe eventually find a job. Also, they provide workshops and lectures at the Career Development Center. I did my training there for a job interview in English, of course. That was really fun. They would videotape you how you behave, what you do at your job interview, and then you can analyze and correct yourself for the future. So in my situation was to get my second bachelor's degree, I had to take 36 credits. 36 credits. So normally one course, for example, let's say management 305, the course, it's worth three credits. And you would take normally like 3 or 4 courses like that in a semester. So it's 12, 12, 12, 12, and it adds up. And you can finish your school in as early as a year and a half or 2 years. So student life, there are a lot of student organizations as well in the university. So I was part of a bunch of them. I just had pictures and I uploaded them here. So fencing, for instance, I joined the fencing group, the hockey group, Asian Student Union group, the International Relations Club, salsa dance, swing dance, the Toastmasters. There's also Toastmasters here in Moscow, a couple of them I heard. Also a good tool for you to improve your public speaking, which is good. The volunteering. Did volunteering through the admissions office. I was giving campus tours to students who would be eventually ending up choosing the university. This is how they do it with parents, students, and like high school graduates normally. With parents are coming to different universities to do the campus tours. They are choosing them by different criteria. For instance, how big the campus is, what programs are available, and how many students per professors there are, what are the resources available. And so my job there as a volunteer was to tell them what our campus provided or would provide for their future student life. Helping Hands is an interesting volunteering experience in the semester, in the beginning of the semester, be it fall or winter. You could have we would help freshmen to move in to their dorms. It's fun. You get to meet a lot of friends this way too. And also the Make a Difference Day. Once a year in Grand Rapids, Grand Valley was participating in this Make a Difference Day. I think it's part of the whole America is doing this particular day. Make a Difference Day is when you do something to your community. You're giving back. If you're healthy, you're strong, you want to carry something, you can help elderly people carry them to different places like here, or help them move different loads. And we also help cleaning the streets for them. It's kind of like subotnik, you know. But more than that, not just cleaning the streets. On campus. So if you are ending up in an American college as a student, make sure you use the opportunity of employment on campus. It's first of all you get paid, and it's a good help financially. But also you will learn how to do a lot of new tasks and how to multitask. I'm pretty sure you are students and you work elsewhere right now, but also in America you can do that. And I did that during the school year. You can do, I put here just to be clear for your future. So you know, per week you can do 20 hours, and during the summertime you can work a full-time work, 40 hours. So these pictures are from my job during the summer. That was 2010, I believe, as a camps and counselors. That was during the summertime. Yeah. So I worked on campus in Subway, in pizza shop, also in the housing department as a desk assistant, as a conference assistant. This is me. I'm there. Okay, moving on. The internship. While you are in the U.S., well, let me tell you my story. While I was in Grand Valley, I learned, just before I graduated, almost a semester before I graduated, I figured out, hey, I can do an internship. Cool. And they will also give me credits for that. So instead of spending my time on campus, I decided to go to the Washington and do the internship. I was interning at the Voice of America. Also, I had classes during that time. It was like a combination. And I saw actually people from Russia too doing this. So you can do it still. You can be a student here, and you can do the Washington Center internship. I think they were not from Moscow, from Volgograd. Yeah. So, yeah, that's one semester, like from September to December. That was in the World Bank organization. That was part of the conference, Youth B2B, so business to business youth conference. And that's a Peruvian ambassador. And that's us, a group of students from Canada, from Mexico, from Serbia, from America. So after graduation, so I graduated in April 2011. I did my OPT, optional practical training. So you have an opportunity after you graduate from an American college, you can do it for 1 year. If you are not part of the STEM, just as Irina was telling you, the STEM, it's science, technology, math. You can do it up to 2 years, I believe. I did for 1. I moved down to Detroit. I was part of the this movement, this called Hostel Detroit. It was very fun. I was a night manager at the hostel. It was I stayed there for free. And I was also working for Wayne State University at the Office of International Students and Scholars. After that year expired, I returned back to Russia in 2012, and I joined the Ecolab that I'm part of right now. I started off in Kazan, moved to different cities like Perm, Izhevsk, Yekaterinburg, Nizhny Tagil, all those places. Now Ecolab offered me a job here in Moscow, and I moved to Moscow. I accepted the job offer. So that's my quick story. If you guys have any questions, I'll be happy to answer. Yes?
A question about education. What is the difference between Russian educational system and American, and what features of American system you would like to see in Russia?
Very good question. What I noticed, we're talking about higher education. In the universities, I noticed that the exam, the final exam, is very important for your grade here. Like, it doesn't matter how bad you were during your year, but if you are doing good at your final exam, then I don't know how it is today, but back then it was this way. Yeah, in зачетка you get the отлично or хорошо. Now. In America, it's quite a different story. Normally, throughout your semester, throughout your course, you have to work really hard to get a good grade. So it's an attendance, for instance. You have to be present. You have to be active. You have to follow. You have to read books, the textbooks. Because a lot of times, pretty much every class, they would have group activities, and then you would have to present to the classmates your answer and all of that, and also essays. And yes, some professors, it depends. Some professors do have like final exam, but some don't. So it's like they break down throughout the year, throughout the semester. They break down your grade. So 5% here, 5% here, and then if you fail in most of it, then your grade will not be improved by your final exam. So if you even excel in your final exam, but you did bad during the whole year, you'll do mostly bad in the end of the year. So yeah, I would definitely think it's a good way to do that. Not just the final exam. Plus, it's a big stress, but if you do it throughout the year, it's less stress actually. If you keep the good work.
Why you decided to return to Russia if you had a chance to stay in US?
Yeah, well, to be honest, I did want to stay on. I got accepted to a grad school. And I was going to study, but it's my family situation. I had to return for my family matters.
And without that reason, you easily stay there, and you think your life would be easier there, or no? For example, finding a job.
Actually, finding a job, it's universal. I don't think it's an American problem or Russian problem. It's totally up to a person. So I wouldn't say in America it's easier or more difficult, you know. It was definitely a crazy idea for me to go to Detroit, because Detroit is not like the booming place that you go to find a job. Normally they flee Detroit. They go to some other places. Like Detroit, seriously? But I went there and I found a job there. So there you go. Yes, I was going to study on, but then I returned. Yeah. Yes.
So it's about core subjects. You know, well, I wanted to ask about how many electives have you got, how many core subjects you have during your bachelor's, because, well, I was considering getting a second degree abroad, and I know that the systems are quite similar to the one, especially all here. So I want to ask you, are there few core subjects and lots of electives or something?
Yeah, thank you. So normally, to get your degree, you have to go through a called general education courses, the Gen Ed, and that's the biggest chunk of it. So it's maybe like 70. I might be wrong here with the exact number, but it's like 2/3 of your studies would be towards that, the general education. And then, if you have your degree already with your bachelor's degree from Russia, then you don't have to take the general education courses. They take it, they take your bachelor's degree, and then on top of that, they will just require you to take your particular classes that will particular to your degree. So if you're international relations student, then it will be like history, economics, business, language. You could do the internship. Yeah, I was thinking actually to bring the curriculum. Maybe one of next sessions in the future I might present it to you, and it would break down how many courses you would need to take from every category that would require you to get a degree. Yeah. But for whatever major you are in, there is general education courses, which you also can choose from. There are also different categories. It's not like you have to take this class and this class. You still have a choice. So, did I answer your question? Okay. Did you say Ireland?
No.
You were going to go to Ireland.
No, I want to go abroad.
Okay. Yeah. I'm pretty sure in Britain, for instance, they have similar system. Yeah, this is why I came here, is to tell you that there are a lot of resources available in the university. While you are there, you should use the student organizations as your opportunity to get exposed to the culture, get exposed to new friendships. Also the employment on campus, where you get exposed to finding yourself in different situations where you have to mingle with your school and also your studies, and then you would learn new skills, and you would feel this the business side of America. If I make myself clear. Yeah, I learned there that if you work really hard, they appreciate you, and then you get promoted, for instance. It doesn't matter, you could be whatever. If you go from the bottom, you can work yourself up to the top. So it's all your hard work. And that's what I got from there. Yeah, the resources are available to everybody on campus, even if you're an international student or an American student. Now, fee, maybe you might ask, how much did you pay, or did you get a scholarship? I did get a scholarship in the university. That was part of, first I went with my money, with my family money. They invested in me. And then after first year, with my grades, I got a scholarship, which covered part of my tuition fee. Not all of it, but a big part of it. And then also working on campus helped me to cover my tuition.
And so moving on, your parents didn't help?
Yes, they didn't. So the first year they did, and then later on. So that's why I think it's like if you are applying to school, they ask you to show them that you have enough money for the first year, because later on, if you study good enough, or if you work hard enough, then you can either earn and get a scholarship or earn. But you shouldn't be relying just on earning the money, because it will not be enough, really. The on-campus 20 hours a week. Yeah, it's normally like $8 an hour. Yes.
How difficult to get the scholarship?
It depends on you. It depends on your grade, and it depends on your essay and your persistence. Sometimes they even they look at your financial situation in general. If you're really struggling, then they help you out. Even they would choose you rather than the person who has a better financial situation and better grades. But since you're struggling more, they can help you out more.
Working, persevering,
It's in your essay, really. You have to reveal yourself to this
the American idea,
to the group, to the committee who makes the decision. That's correct. I couldn't do it any better. Good.
I have a general question about life in America. What things do you like about it, and what things do you dislike about it?
Yeah, that's a tough question. Let's see. Let me first start with what I liked. Is wherever I went, with whoever I spoke to, they would be really friendly and asking me more questions. Oh, you're from Russia? How cool! You know, like, so what part of Russia you're from? They got really interested in you, you know, and really friendly. I was amazed by that first, but then it becomes normal, and you act like this too, so it grows on you. What first I didn't like was I thought that was all artificial. You know, why are you asking me these questions? You're not really interested. Come on, we're strangers. But that's the way they are. It breaks down later on. I figured out it breaks down. It breaks this wall. That you build a rapport easily with the person, even if you're looking for a job. During your interview. Let me tell you this story. I was just right after I came from America. I was looking for a job here in Russia, and I come to this prospective employer, and I start chatting with him about the weather. Hey, how cool is the weather today? I go, in America, it's normal. It's how you would begin the conversation. You know, chit chat. You know, and small talk, as they say. And then the guy goes, okay, let's get to the point. Like, okay, not as talkative. So the accessibility of like I would ride with my bike everywhere, you know, taking on the bus, and then it was easy. No, there's a lot of good things. Yeah, I would have to prepare a separate presentation, probably pluses and minuses, but from the top of my head, yeah. Yes?
How are you going to link your future with USA?
I am already linked because I have a lot of friends. I continue with my friendships with my through Skype. I use Skype. I use WhatsApp. I have friends in America. I also have friends that I met there that are now in different countries. And now working with for an American company actually helped me to work for this company because I have this background from America. And in fact, I think that I would have not gotten this job had I not been in the U.S. because of the language, because I know the language. They picked me from the group of people who work in our department, and they would send me to abroad. I went to Paris. I'm going to Manchester in October. That's the language helps definitely, and also you get cultured in America, like the business wise, socially wise. You know how to behave around people, what to not to do, what to do. You get polished really well in business wise in the U.S. Yeah, and so I'm already linked. Would I be going back to the U.S.? Well, if they, for example, I'm not thinking about quitting the job. So if they offer me a job in the U.S., yeah, I wouldn't mind to move there. Yeah, who would? So why going to the U.S. really? Why studying in the U.S.? Why I did this is because I knew that back then in 2005, and right there, while I was a student in Russia, I went there and I saw this. I was in the kitchen. I was working in the kitchen, and in the kitchen I met this company actually, Ecolab. So it traces me way back in 2005 where I met this company. Okay, if we have no more questions, then thank you very much. It was a great pleasure for me to share with you.
Okay, we have our Education USA friends here. You might hear about them. Have you heard about Education USA? No? Nobody? Okay, they are located at the Art Play just now. We used to stay together when we were on the compound of Library for Foreign Literature. But now they are in Art Play, so you can always go there and to learn more about the educational system there. There on the red table, I have some materials for you, so you can take them with you. They are all information about Education USA, how to get there, how to call them, what programs actually they suggest for you students. So please help yourself. Thank you very much for coming. It was a real pleasure. Thank you.